Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. Um, that whole term is taking on a whole whole life of itself. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Like Queen Lisa, and my buddy, the Public Awakening, is joining us today because it is WuJu Wednesday. So we're going to talk about some woo-woo things today, some strange things that are happening in this world, and get your opinion on it. So if you guys are watching this, give us a like, share this video, and we're going to have some open discussion about some strange things that are happening in this world, and some strange things that happened to my buddy Public. So we'll be right back with the Public Awakening. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back, everybody in public. Thanks for joining us. When I came up with the idea to call this show the new normal, it was pre-COVID, and it was before all this stuff was happening. And it was because I was applying it to having like seasons in your life. And I'd lost my daughter, and I'd gone through a divorce, and kind of finding that new normal in my life and myself, and watching some of my friends go through different changes in their life and finding that new normal. And I had no idea it would apply to this great awakening. And then now we see it being applied. And some people are seeing it being applied to some of the darkness or the dark agenda that's going forward. So I'm struggling with some of that part of it.
Well, it was co-opted, I think. That term was co-opted. That term meant something completely else if you would have said it a year ago.
Originally. And it was hijacked, just like some of the other terms that are hijacked.
Sure. That's definitely how I see it. It was when you said the new normal, it just meant the regular things in life. And if there's a new ice cream man that drives past your street every day, oh, this is the new normal. It's the new normal thing. But that term was completely hijacked, I think. Totally co-opted and changed and inserted back into reality.
Yeah. So the last couple days, there have been some strange things, some strange energies. I want to go through some of those things and have some of those discussions. And then also talk to the community about, what we can do. I almost, we're going through this stuff, and I've talked about, Sidney Powell's statements about I'll release the Kraken on you. And we've talked on WuJu Wednesday about, them finding those, or they DOD videos where they showed, the simulation machine that they called the Kraken, and all this stuff. And we know, the 17th letter post talking about how, they would have to show the people, and and we're seeing now what that is. So that still follows that narrative that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And we still see that, so that narrative still could play out, but it's still scary. It's still scary even if you're in watching a scary movie, you're still feeling that emotion and watching that scary stuff. And I know yesterday they released some video of people trick-or-treating, we called it, on our video yesterday.
Great video yesterday. Amy knocked it out of the park, I think, with all her research and the way she was presenting it yesterday. Great job.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We send a lot of stuff to each other back and forth, and and have a lot of information to share on a lot of that. And so and I had several people. There is a couple of things that I want to share today. Well, and I don't know, you had a personal experience, so and I don't know, you share how much you feel comfortable sharing.
I'm comfortable with all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything that we do here on the new normal is about peacefully supporting and loving our country and our countrymen. And so.
And being good citizens and good patriots. And
absolutely.
all
And
of that.
so you had a strange experience yesterday. Do you want to share about
Sure.
that? Okay.
Sure. So I had and this kind of, it might turn into a longer description than whatever, but just feel free to cut me off, because there's some other things that also affected these events yesterday. So I'm sitting at home yesterday and get a knock on the door. It's my 3 daughters and I hanging out in our apartment here, doing, just evening time stuff, just hanging out. And I get a knock on the door. I go to the door, and there's 2 people there, a man and a woman. I didn't notice anything right off the bat. So I said, hey, how's it going? What can I help you guys with? And so we are Detective so-and-so and Agent so-and-so one was from the FBI and one was from the local sheriff's department. And they wanted to come talk to me. Apparently, there's been tips put in on the FBI tip line. People are going around taking pictures off of social media and submitting them. Again, I'm not really sure how, but apparently they had printouts of pictures that were on my camera roll from the January 6th event in DC when I was there. I went there. I supported my president. I supported my country. We made some videos. We showed what a peaceful, lovely time it was. We enjoyed the music and the camaraderie and the love that was in the air, and the general feeling of all these, apparently 3 million like-minded people there, being good, positive people and whatever. So they asked me, they wanted to know about these pictures that somebody had submitted to the FBI tip line. And, we kind of went into it for there. The FBI and the local sheriff was here for the better part of an hour, giving me a full interview on what I thought, what I saw, very specific question. Did I text you or did I email you the pictures? Did I text you the pictures that they were asking?
Spoke, because I was watching, I had several friends that were there during that time, and I was also watching some mainstream media during the time. And so I was concerned because I was seeing things that then I was concerned for my friend's safety, because what mainstream media was reporting, of course, wasn't actually happening, or at least my friends that were physically there, that my friends weren't experiencing that. Right. And I was worried for their safety. So I was contacting my friends that I knew that were there, and they're like, Lisa, look, I'll show you on my phone. Everyone's safe. This is not happening, and so that was my experience through it. And I knew my friends were safe because that was my concern. So then to hear that, and we've heard these threats of Kamala making lists of people and different things. And I know, they've thankfully, even though the people were invited into the Capitol, thankfully you didn't go inside. And so,
oh, hell no, I wasn't even we were nowhere near. We were way in the back, when actually it was you. I believe you were the first person who called us, and you're like, or sent text and say, hey guys, apparently this is, going crazy over there. What's going on? Are you guys okay? Are you guys safe? And we're looking around, we got people making videos over here. We got gospel groups sitting over here singing.
They were singing gospel songs. And,
I'm saying, we hear gospel music and everyone's sitting around peacefully and lovingly and having a great time right now. So, that was a little scary. Let's just say that it was a little odd to know that these things were going on. And then at the same time, I had someone else sending me pictures that were coming in off of people's social media at the same time. People breaking glasses, fighting with the police up at the Capitol. And, at the time we were like flat out denying it. There was four people there. We were sitting around, talk about what's going on, two of the guys were making the videos as we're discussing this. And, it was just really, it was really interesting because, I mean, maybe that stuff was taped at a different time or something
right.
else,
I
but
think
we
that's
didn't see it. Yeah.
I think that's where the past few days it's felt kind of strange to have this like alternate reality of as far as level of trust of the
Yeah.
media. Yeah, I mean, we know they lie to us, all that kind of stuff. But even seeing the video of them walking around and jabbing people, pricking people in the arm, and all that kind of stuff, trick or treating, all that going
Yeah.
on. It's like, well, is that really happening? Because then I was also seeing, and I shared on Twitter a video where someone was with some kind of, I don't know if it was Australian or a UK accent, but is like getting upset watching somebody with like a hazmat suit on and they're posing for pictures, pretending to be cleaning things.
Right. Right.
And it's obviously, fear porn, trying to scare people. And so it's like,
Right.
well, is that what we're being presented? What are we, can we even believe what we're seeing? And so I don't know. It's just really, I don't know. We're in this place right now where I'm believing what my friends are telling me, but I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. I think it's really important for us to, know our rights and how to protect ourselves. Read the Constitution. I had someone on Twitter share with me a great, let's see, I'll pull it up, and shared with me a great information and document, free range burn, and there's underscore in between each word. Shared a great document with me, and let's see. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Let me share the screen real quick.
Mm-hmm. I see a comment here from Rice. I'm going to be going on Rice Crypto's channel, Rice TVX channel at 7, and we're going to join up. It's going to be Rice and Pimpy from Pimpy's Investment Chat and I. Just throwing this in here because one of the pictures that the FBI was questioning me about was a picture of the three of us that we had taken when we were there, and they were very, very curious to know who my friends were and what they were doing and who they are. And I'm like, go look on YouTube. That everything's there.
Yeah.
But so
Well, and I was
that'll be on Rice's
watching,
channel at 7.
I was on Foxhole earlier today in the chat with Methods, and he was talking about these lists that they're making of people that are to be released, I think in September, of people from. So there's, I guess, another great cull to happen again. So kind of like the 2017. But this is
Letting them out of the detention areas. Is that what you're saying?
no, kind of like the big. Remember when they did the big YouTube cull of all
Yeah,
the people in 2017, and then the Tea Party kind of social media call. They're going after patriots and making lists of them and calling them domestic terrorists and all this kind of stuff.
Oh,
And
sure.
so I wanted to share this. This was a great document. So it says that if a government agent or assignee comes to your property, it's important to know, to protect your privacy and property, it's important to know your rights. So you do not have to answer any questions or make any statements to any government agents or assignee. The Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, corresponding section of your state's constitution. Simply asking an agent to identify themselves or does not waive your rights. So just you can always especially once this gets out that people are going door to door. What if bad guys, people that want to break and enter into your house, say, oh, well, I'm going to go pretend like I'm an agent,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't need to open your door to anyone. These are strangers until they prove themselves, to you. So everybody needs to be careful about
Right.
who you're opening your door to. You have the right to be free from any government agent or assignee entering your property, your home, your business without a properly obtained warrant. Fourth and Fifth Amendments of the U.S. Constitution and corresponding sections of your state constitution. Simply demanding a copy of that warrant does not waive your rights. You have the right to tell any government agent or assignee to leave your property if they cannot produce a properly obtained warrant. The Fourth, Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and corresponding sections of the state constitution. Simply demanding an agent or assignee of the government to leave your property does not waive your rights. If a government agent or assignee refuses to leave your property or returns to your property after being warned against or entering or returning, that agent or assignee has committed the crime of trespass and is subject to arrest. State law, Fourth and Fifth Amendments to the Constitution, corresponding sections of state constitution as confirmed by the Supreme Court opinions. You have the right to record through audio, video, or photographic recording of any government agent or assignee on your property, either with or without consent of that agent or assignee. Multiple federal court opinions recognize that the First Amendment plainly protects the filming of officers and public agents. So please find the attached trespass warning form that you may issue any government agent or assignee that fails to satisfy the requirements of the U.S. state constitutions. Hand them the completed form directly or assignee while telling them that they must now leave the property and you will not be answering any questions. So this I have tweeted out, and I'll be sure to put a link to this in the description of this. Whoops, I'm on the wrong link. Sorry, guys. I've got too many windows open, and I can't find it.
It happens.
I've got a big crack on my screen, so I can't find where I'm going. Sorry.
Oh, geez.
Okay, I found myself. Anyway, so really good information. So just so you know, we always want to be lawful and peaceful, but we want to be careful, and we don't know who is coming to our door. And so just want everybody to be safe and know their rights.
Yeah. There was, it caught me so off guard. Honestly, I just invited him right in, to be honest with you. I was like, huh? What?
With your three little girls, and here these two strangers come to the door, and how vulnerable, that would be.
They picked like the model squad, like they have like the group, like the couple that goes out and does these things. Like this guy was like straight out of like a Beverly Hills 90210 picture with like the hair all over and like very just if you imagine in your mind what an FBI agent looks like and what a sheriff's deputy looks like, these were not them. These were like regular nice people who smiled and said, oh, it was very, they fit the part perfectly for what their jobs were, to go out and interview people. No, there weren't a big gruffy guys who were scary. One was a woman, who was didn't seem like the heavy hitter, but she was the FBI agent, and she was just like this nice, sweet woman. They were very polite. I have nothing bad to say about how anything went. That's do good. Feel that they were honestly just trying to find out information in general, not about me per se. But the way that they explained it is they get these tips, which I don't know. I don't know if there even were tips. I believe, and I'll be mentioning this tonight on the show with Rice. When we were there was a no-fly zone. It was very, very strict no-fly zone. In fact, there's usually a no-fly zone around the Capitol, around the Washington, D.C. Now, there was one helicopter that flew directly over, spent some time, above the crowd. It was an odd black helicopter, very, very weird. Not like a military, but just like a tinted out, blacked out, helicopter. And I come to learn later that they have all these things, all these different ways of monitoring. And I know MonkeyWorks does a lot about the one was a dirt box, right? A DRT box. And the other was the
sniffer.
Was the Stingray system. Yeah. The sniffers. So what they do is they use those for gathering information, but they're not selective about what they gather. When those planes or when these devices are used, they suck up any and all information in the area. And it's just funny because the pictures that they showed me and that they were asking about, I never posted online. I never did anything with social media. These were like my personal pictures, but like they had the camera roll. It's like you saw the, the big paper printout that they had. And then on the bottom, like, how when you're looking on your phone, it's got all your camera roll. Well, it had all my damn pictures on the bottom of there. It's like, it was the strangest thing in the world. I don't know how anybody would get it.
So I have somebody that recently, who is very into security and all that, that we were all just recently together, that made a comment about how he noticed that Twitter had gone into his camera roll and he had to somehow turn it off from automatically kept going into his camera roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of updates too since then.
About that later.
Definitely. I would definitely like to know about that. But maybe other people have noticed that too. I had updates going on while we were in DC. God knows what they were installing on our God knows what was being installed on our phones at that point. But like a lot of Americans, I'm like,
had some hacks on something got.
Oh, so okay, you want to take the slightly longer route on this? So starting the whole crazy, like where the real crazy started was in November. I was a victim. Now, everybody listen up, because this happens to people. It's not just, it doesn't happen to gamers. It doesn't happen to, just people or kids. Okay. I had an instance, what was called swatting. I was a victim of a swatting incident. And what swatting is when you're sitting at home, somebody makes an anonymous phone call to your local police or to the local FBI or to the local whatever office. And they tell them that you're at home, that you have firearms, and and they just make up something. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. I'm very scared. They're yelling around with guns, stuff like that. Right. So I was a victim of this in November. Okay. Somebody called up, an anonymous caller from Florida, I think, and literally said, "Hi, police, local police. Yes, Jason, TPA over here. He's a very scary person, and he has guns, and he said he's going to shoot up the house." Okay, so never happened. So what happens is the police come to your house, and when you're in a lovely state like New Jersey here, they have rules, and these different rules that totally subvert your constitutional rights and take your rights and the rules, they take them right out of it, because normally police, law enforcement, anybody cannot confiscate your stuff unless you've actually done something. But in the state of New Jersey, they came here and they just took it all. They took everything I had. I have a collection of firearms that I worked proudly on since I was a teenager. I got all the coolest, best stuff I can get over the years, and they came and they took it all. They just took it all. Nope. Didn't matter whether I said I'm innocent. Didn't matter whether a week later in court, everything was dropped and the people who did it admitted it was a lie. It was still 5 months before I got my property back. And it was a pain in the ass. And in the meantime, cost me about $40,000 to $50,000. Okay. So that's where this all started here. This is how this started.
Did they relate that incident with?
Well, here's the problem. I didn't know who these people were yesterday. I assumed, now get this too, right? Right here, single dad, been, doing the right thing for 5-6 years now as a father,
right,
being the good guy, right? So, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I? What was your last question? I'm sorry. I just trailed off. I'm reading a note.
So we were talking about how
So they swat. So they did that. They came in. They took the thing.
Went back to the swatting.
Okay. I forget whatever it was. So yes. So
you were linking the two together.
I was trying to link them together. I forgot where I was going with it. But yeah, as the father who was doing the right thing, they don't care, right? They come and take your stuff and they ask questions later. So now this started in November. Now, when the people knocked on my door yesterday, this was just yesterday. When the people knocked on my door yesterday, I thought that this was, okay, get this right, Child Protective Services had been coming to my house once a month
Oh, so you
while
thought
this
this was part
entire,
of
yep, while
that
this
thing.
entire swatting incident was going on, because, you know, in the state of New Jersey, you have to make sure the children are safe, but yet they were with
Right.
me in my custody
So
for the
you're
5 months
wanting
after
to
all
be
this happened.
compliant with anything to do with keeping your children safe and all that.
Right.
I understand that. Yeah.
So that ended 2-3 months ago now, after all the investigations and after I got all my firearms back and that whole case was dropped and everything. So when I opened the door yesterday and these people presented themselves, I thought that that's what this was. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're having another meeting here so I can prove I'm a good parent. But okay. So,
You
you know,
didn't
that's,
realize what it was,
yeah,
that it
yeah.
was a
So
whole separate incident.
didn't realize. And then when they came in and we started talking, and they're pulling out these printout of pictures that people had supposedly sent into the FBI tip line, it
I
was
guess
all
that's
really
why
shocking.
it's a good idea to ask for the warrant and to have that documentation of
Right.
why they're there, because if you don't even know why they're there
Right. There
and then
was
you
no
start,
warrant. Yeah, there is no warrant. They were just
there
coming to
is no
talk to me.
warrant.
Yeah, no, they were just coming
Right.
to talk to me. You don't need a warrant to talk to somebody. You know, they were just coming to talk to me, to ask me about one of the pictures here. I don't know if you can see. One of the pictures was this one. They said, you know, Rice and Pimpy here said I could show this one. So they asked me about this picture. This was taken at the Capitol. That's me, Rice, Rice Crypto, Rice TVX, and Pimpy from Pimpy's Investment Chat. And the lady on top was a friend, I think, who had met up. So they wanted to find out about that picture. They wanted to find out about. I'll show you the other pictures here that they were asking about. They wanted to find out about this picture, which was an Airbnb that I stayed at in DC. It was a beautiful 1800s mansion. It had 12-foot ceilings or something on it. And this was just a beautiful woodworked mirror that I was just, I don't know, I was just astounded by it. I've never seen such a giant mirror in a
But
room
you did
before.
not post those on social media. That was
Never
just
posted
you took
anything
it
online. Yep,
on
never posted
your.
anything online. Here's another one. Me inside the mansion.
So you know that yesterday we talked about the warning. Was it yesterday or Monday? That I think it was Monday that I don't know if it was Monday or yesterday that on the show we talked about that they were warning that they were going to start looking at SMS. They were partnering with phone carriers,
To start putting in
and
filters. Yeah.
they were going to start putting in filters. They're not just looking at your text messages, but they're actually going to be editing and censoring your
Right.
text messages. So if you had sent any of those pictures, which I know you did because I got them.
I sent, right. I didn't do anything on social media. Right. I sent you these beautiful pictures. I sent my mother. Did I send you? I don't remember. I sent my mother, my father. I'm like, look at this beautiful house I'm in. I was invited to stay with this, with the Global Boost people.
Yeah, you probably don't want to say who. I mean, you've already told them, I guess, who
They
you
said it was okay. I
were
know.
staying with. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
They
you
said,
weren't doing anything wrong, and
I wasn't
neither
doing
were
anything wrong. Yeah.
they.
I
Yeah,
was invited. I was invited
yeah,
to stay in this house with them in this beautiful place. They had
yeah.
a huge party on the night before that I missed because I couldn't get a train down, which was that I really wanted to go to, which was where Vincent Fusco showed up. I mean,
Yeah.
this is where, you know, the real Vincent, whatever a real Vincent Fusca is, he was there at the house too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I don't know. I'm still kind of flabbergasted by it all. It's confusing.
It is a little confusing. I guess that's where I am right now. Just to be really honest with everybody, is that the information that we've gotten over time and, through my life, I believed media and then I didn't believe media so much. And I still don't believe media, but now I don't know what I don't believe.
Right.
Um, I think I believe the relationship that I have with my loved ones, and I believe the relationship that I have with Christ. Outside of that, I'm not too sure what I believe anymore.
Right.
Um,
Here's a
just to be real
picture.
honest.
Here's another picture from the same house that night. My buddy Rice with Vincent Fusca. I mean,
Yeah.
this is why I wanted to go there. So, it's just, I don't know. I'm still kind of confused about it. I'm still thinking back over and over, like, did somebody really hack my accounts again? See, now here's another thing. Not only did this whole swatting incident go down in November, I then had the Capitol business go on the
I know
6th.
what that connection was now. You were hacked. You
That's
had
right.
an
My Coinbase
account.
account was
Your
hacked. Yeah.
Coinbase account
I
was
don't use
hacked.
them
That's
anymore.
where
I
we
don't
were
even
trying
have it.
to, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was that link we were trying to get to.
Yep. So it was November, the swatting incidents. It was the beginning of January in DC. It was the end of January. I noticed, my Coinbase account, which I don't have anymore, so don't even try and hack it. I don't even have a Coinbase account anymore. But when I had Coinbase, they hacked it somehow, got in, cleared it out. I had a few dollars on there that I used for just, keeping on there or moving around or pulling in and out when I need to. So they cleared out whatever was left in the cash account, which was about $3,200. I think at that point, possibly they hacked like my email maybe, or my Google Photos or something. So I changed all the passwords on that. I did everything I needed to do the right way, apparently, or so I thought. And then, and then there's been just things since then that are just really, really just weird things going on with my phone. I was, talking to you since this all went down in January, my phone hasn't acted right.
Right.
You're not able to send me texts. A lot of times any texts or messages I get are on a delay. I almost feel like, like the messages I'm getting and the SMS I'm getting, everything, they're almost looked at first before they're sent to me. It's like there's that much of a delay sometimes where it's a day or a couple hours or randomly, whether I'm on Wi-Fi or whether I'm on, 5G or regular data. Doesn't matter what device I'm on. If I had ever signed into a device previously, I was not able to use that device anymore. Just made it really, really messed up. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
really strange.
I mean, yeah. What is it? The name, the Public Awakening name? What is it? I mean, what is it? They don't like crypto. They don't like, woo-woo stuff. They don't like discussing conspiracy theories and alternative, medicines and economics and line of thinking, or just, alternative
But I think
thinking.
there's so many people that are doing all of that, and there's so many huge accounts that are doing all of that,
Right.
that, I don't know.
And they just trash us and trashed me. I mean, I'm on my fifth Twitter account, which is now canceled again. So I can't even get on Twitter anymore. There's a couple
I know, I just send you screenshots.
Platforms. Yeah. There's a couple platforms I can't even get on anymore. Yeah. So
yeah.
I wasn't aware I was that controversial. I mean, really, but the one saving grace I had was when these people were here interviewing me, I kept saying, dude, you guys are the FBI. You have everything I've done. You know where I've went. You know where my phone's been. You have the back door to everything.
Why are you even here? So then let's have that conversation. If they already know that, are they just baiting us for us to have this conversation, to get this conversation out to our community, to spread more fear porn? Are we doing what they want us to do?
It's possible. But if we believe that when 45 was in office, he did fix a lot of these organizations. He did reestablish them and kind of clean them out. So, I'm torn. I really don't know what the point was. I really want to believe that they just came here to literally find out information. I mean, it's been 9 months, 6, 7, how long has it been? February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months. It's been 6 months since this went down. Certainly, if they thought I was somebody dangerous, I would have been scooped up already. I mean, really, that's what happens. I would hope.
Well, and I talked to one of my patrons today, and she was talking about how they're actually starting to release some of them, but then they're on no-fly lists, so
Oh
they
yeah,
can't get home. But they're or they're having difficulty getting home. But they are having judges starting to release some of the ones that have been detained.
right.
And
Now,
so,
now I would like to say this too. If you went into the Capitol, you deserve to get in trouble. If you broke into a building when you're not allowed to
right,
be in, you deserve to
right,
get in trouble. Like if
right,
you broke stuff, if you broke a window, if you
right,
fought with the police, if you did anything like that, you did bad stuff and you need to get in
absolutely,
trouble for it. Do you need to get locked up without any rights or phone calls or kept away because they're allowed to hold you for weeks or months without any charges or anything like that? No, I don't think that's right. If there's a reason and they have proof that somebody, was punching security guards or breaking windows or actually inside the Capitol, then yeah, you should get in trouble for that. That's what I think. I mean, you don't go into somebody's house, no matter whose house it is, whether it's your grandma's house or your enemy's house. You don't go in when nobody's home. You just don't do it. I would like to definitely start off by saying that because I in no way condone any of the crap that supposedly went on down there. But I don't think the crap that went on down there was done by the same people that I was down there celebrating freedom and patriotism with.
well, we have to
I
remember what we're also seeing is that there were infiltrators. When we look at what happened in Haiti, now we're finding out there were infiltrators in that. There was also, there was something else that it just came out that there were infiltrators in that. And so
Mhm.
I think we're all pretty clear about who the people were that were doing those kind of things there. And the majority of people were peaceful.
Right,
And what the Patriots were doing there was peaceful. And
right.
that's what we're encouraging.
And
Um,
this is a very, very secure building also. Ain't nobody getting in unless they're allowed in. I'm sorry. There's nobody getting in any federal building unless you're allowed in. I would be able to bet, I'd be willing to bet just about anything right now. If you wanted to be an idiot and go to Washington, D.C. and try and get into a building, you're not going to get in. I don't think you're going to get. These are secure buildings. It's our capital. How can you just break a window and just go in and there's no guards inside? There's no security systems. What if there's an invasion? What if there's a group like a real group of bad people who want to get in? I don't feel very safe that they could just break a $5 piece of glass and go in my Capitol building in my country.
right,
I don't know how
right,
this happens, but
right.
apparently it happens. I,
Well,
I think it's
yeah, I
insane.
think we all know better than that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just want everybody to be sure about, knowing their rights and knowing what's going on. And,
Yeah.
but
I see
I'm just,
Westwood here wrote everything. Oh wait, and it just went up. Westwood said, where's it go?
everything
Everything
has
has
been
been
infiltrated.
infiltrated. Sound money fixes that. Agreed. Oh, there you are. You have it up already. There you
Yeah.
go. Yes, I agree. And sound, accounting and record keeping. And, I would like to imagine that my country's capital is one of the most secure, monitored, places in the world that are going to keep the wheels of justice in this country and our American system running smoothly. I didn't think we were in a place where a couple of idiots can break some glass and basically shut down government. Like I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's frustrating, but
Well, I don't think people believe that.
I hope not. I
We'll
really
see.
hope not. But
Yeah.
here we are dealing with the consequences of it either way. I had to answer, as to why I had a selfie next to in a mansion with wood that was similar to what was inside the Capitol. I mean, yeah, I
Oh,
can kind of understand. Oh, and by the way, they had all these pictures too on their phone, pictures of a watch I was wearing at the time when I was going down there on the train. I was going to post on social media. So they had all these pictures also, which were ones that I didn't actually do anything with. I was just taking pictures to pick a nice one of the watch to post on social media to try and offer it up for cryptos or something like that. So I don't know how they got those also.
Working on your business.
Yeah. So I don't know how they got these pictures also, because they never left my phone. So that kind of
those are ones you sent to me, because we were talking about all that.
The watch ones?
The watch ones you were sending to me. If you look back through of
I will have to go back and see. The problem is I got a new phone in February, so I don't have I'm not carrying the other phone that would have the other texts and stuff on it. Yeah. Well, take a look on January if you see if I sent that stuff to you, because I mean, well, then it's just all over then that's just God's honest proof right there that, hey, anything you sent over the internet, whether it's a text to a friend about a Rolex that you want to sell or whatever, it's all going to be taken up, and they're all going to come, knocking on your door saying, hey, what's this picture you texted your friend? You were mentioning before, it's like they're going to censor our text, but I think they already got our texts, and we're already dealing with the consequences of texting something that they might not like. And not only do they don't get the few shots and the few messages that they don't like, they got everything. I mean, honestly, there's going to be some pictures on there that they're not going to like too much.
Was it
private pictures?
Was it 2 pictures, the watch where you did the front and the back, where it's clear on the back?
No, that was an AP watch. That was the AP Millennia watch. That was a different watch. This was just, I think I took 2 watches with me that time. Again, I was going down to meet some people who were doing well in the crypto department, so I figured I'd try and make a connection. This was just let me find a brighter one here. This was just a Rolex like this that I was taking pictures of, trying to yeah, trying to get a nice one.
It wasn't. Okay.
But that the one with the skeleton back, that was a beautiful AP that I had that I want to get back. One I sold that I don't want to sell. I want to keep that one, but it's gone already, and now I'll never get another cheap one used that cheap enough. So kind of a bummer. Probably my favorite watch ever.
A life of things. Anyway, wild stuff going on. So to talk a little bit about woo-woo stuff, I wanted to share this with you and get your thoughts. They are talking about redoing the flag for the Olympics, and I wondered what your thoughts are.
Oh boy.
You notice the same things I notice on this?
Yeah.
The 5 stars and the 3 red. So I looked this up in Wikipedia. Of course, the 3 red bars are very reminiscent of something from, let's see. I can do the...
Remember last time they put out one of these, I think it was the DNC logo during the election last year. If you turned it sideways, if you turned it sideways, it turned into something. I'm just trying to imagine if there's...
So it's the same thing as the Biden logo. If we go to Biden logo images, you guys see this.
Oh, yeah.
Notice the 3. And then if you go to...
and what was it if you turned it sideways? Do you remember that? There was something. It literally...
So it's the 3 red stripe. It's the commie logo. 3 red stripes. Oh, I had it pulled up. Now I can't find it. Well, I have the wrong page.
I'm reading the comments here. I'm going through. Jeff Wood has been putting out a couple comments here that I've been meaning to comment on. But Jeff Wood here on our chat also commented earlier that he had a knock on the door from the same agency, and also commented that he knows quite a few people who had a couple door knocks also. Nobody who went into anything, nobody who did anything, if you were just there.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So it seems like they would know that, though. So why are they wasting their time? So, so 3 red banners is a Chinese ideological
That's right.
slogan
That's
in the
right.
50s, which is called Chinese people to build a socialist state. The three red banners, also called the three red flags, consisted of the general line for socialist construction, the great leap forward, the people's communes. So this is what they are. And then the 5 stars had to do with, it's a it has something to do with a general's
The way they split up the country into 5 sections. Is that the one?
I haven't heard that. Somebody was commenting on it in Twitter, and so I was Googling it, and it was something to do with a general during wartime,
Right.
and
Generals not during wartime are 4-star generals, I believe, and during wartime you then become a 5-star
elevates
general.
to
I
5
believe.
star.
I'm not 100% sure. Nancy Iceland would know on that if you would comment. So is that true?
Yeah. Let us know, Nancy.
The 4-star general is not during wartime, and a 5-star general is during wartime, or anyone else. I think who else? Who was in the Navy here? Was that
I think we have several service.
Mr. Wolfang? Was it Mr. Wolfang, or was it the Litecoin app? The Litecoin app guy. I forget his name. What's his handle?
Jim Flanagan.
Oh yeah, him. He was in the Navy, I believe, right? So maybe he would be able. Maybe I didn't see if he was here, but if anyone can comment, I'm a U.S. Army veteran, Stephen Tyrell. Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes.
If maybe you guys could say that if we were right or wrong with the 4-star and the 5-star, I'm not sure, but that's what I remember.
Yeah, so that was my concern when they're talking about redesigning the flag logo. There was a story about Jill Biden is going to Tokyo for
China.
For China. Yeah, she's going to China for the Olympics after them banning people attending. So once again, rules for thee and not for me.
Oh yeah. Just like those you were talking about yesterday with the whole airplane ride, those lovely treasonists took in from Texas, and they just said, we're going to jump on a plane and go fly around. Yeah. Mr. Wolfang was in the Army. Okay. So we have the Army. Well, we got a lot of servicemen here, men and women. Thank you very much, guys. That's effing awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh God, I'm so proud. Look at that. Nancy Iceland is also known as Mom to me, and she was in the Navy for quite some time, different positions within the Navy.
So that was a woo-woo thing that I wanted, which I swear I had sent you that, and I couldn't find it in our text message.
Yeah, no, apparently we don't get things sometimes.
A whole discussion about that, but
thinking back now, how many times over the past few months have you said I can't send you things? But now, if we think about what those things were that we couldn't send, were we actually being censored back then, or was it just a mistake? Was it just a coincidence?
I don't know.
I think it might have been some of the spicier stuff that never came through. Like I never had problems, getting a picture of like you and Charlie. I never had a problem receiving a picture of the baby. Right? I'm just saying. Or watches, no problem with the watches.
Yeah.
Maybe this has been going on more than we took. So Nancy Iceland here wrote, during World War II, the 5-star general were created so we could have higher ranking than allies. I did not know that. Very cool.
So
I don't know if people walk around as a 5-star general though all the time, or if that's just a wartime thing, but maybe that is all the time now. Who knows? Interesting. And I'm still all worked up about this. I don't know. I wish I would have asked more questions, or, one of the first things I did was I have Arlo in here. So I flipped on the Arlo right away and recorded everything that happened as soon as they came in. So just in case stuff got weird and they said I said, and they said I didn't say, I have it all recorded. Oh, of course it is. Yeah.
That was a smart thing to do. So
yeah, I guess, I was honestly so flustered. I didn't think of it right away. And I was texting with somebody and they're like, yeah, you turn on the cameras, dude. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that. It was all like, trying to, whatever. I don't know. One of the weird questions that they asked as we were wrapping up, though, was that they wanted to know about, they wanted to, me to keep their, here, I'll show you. I'll have to hold on. They wanted me to keep the business card handy. And here, I think it's covered up well enough there. That's their business card that they left. I'm just covering up the name there and the phone numbers and stuff. But yeah, they wanted me to keep contact open. And if I know anybody who might be, first they described it as a conspiratory person. Then they described it as a Trump supporter. And then I'm like, but I'm a Trump supporter. Sorry, I just said that again. But and then they're like, oh no. We mean violent. We mean violent people. I'm like, what? So apparently,
I don't know any
if you
violent
support,
Trump
you're
supporters.
violent. Yeah, or any violent anybody. How about that? How about, I mean, I don't know. Which leads me to believe that they just scooped up a bunch of information and they want to get people on the ground to clarify what these thumbnail pictures were in the background of things. I don't know. Or I have a real hater who not only did the swatting incident with me here locally, also hacked into my computer and stole my Coinbase account, and also now is sending in
pictures, though,
and got into my private pictures, and got into and now making tips to the FBI anonymous tip line, about this boring guy. I mean.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're safe. And I'm glad that, and I'm glad that if the FBI had the best interest for everybody, that they were, looking out for all who are concerned. And
I want to believe that's what
the best interest. Yeah.
I really want to believe that that's what it was. I really want to believe they sent out these teams of people just to go tie up any loose ends and answer any, little questions they might have of something. But when I showed them the pictures that they were asking on my phone, and which I know they already had. That's the part I don't understand.
I was going to say, but
and on the phone. And when you take pictures and all the metadata that's in your phone and your pictures and stuff we don't see or care about, it puts where the picture was taken. It puts the time and the date where it was taken. So, if you're several miles away from where it was, but I guess you still have to check on stuff like that. I want to believe these people were, good American patriots looking to protect our country from the bad people who were there. But, I'm just going to leave it at that. I want to believe that this was a good, positive thing, that they were really trying to help. But who knows? If there's another false FBI tip put in about, this guy or some other people or whomever, who the hell knows how many times, these organizations want to get, tips from people who are just messing with other people. And unfortunately, that's where we are in this world. We're in a world now where high school children are, if they get in an argument with their boyfriend, they go to the police and said they were raped. This just happened in town. This was just a thing here in town. A friend of a friend, the kid's a good kid. Nothing ever happened. And even after the fact, even after this other little brat said this other little child raped her, apparently, it was taken all back, and then it's just dropped, and nothing ever follows through with it. Like with my swatting incident.
No consequences.
To making false accusations to the police. Yeah. That's against the law. But here's where we are, because, we have to protect everybody just in case you are an awful human being. Well, in America, it's not just in case you're an awful human being. You actually have to be a real bad person, like to get treated like a bad person in this country. But maybe that's just the way it was. Now, if you're a good person who tries to help people and support our country and support what we believe is right and good and loving and godly and honest, then you get in trouble. You get, trouble or not, even though the last thing was dropped, I'm out $50,000. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. So, you got to work, you got to think maybe too, is this part of the plan? Are they just going to do this to enough people who are just going to say, you know what? I lost 50 grand. I'm never going to say a word again. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and be a good little idiot sitting in the corner.
Well, and I want to even think one step ahead of that. And I don't want to be, Westwood says pre-crime.
Yep. Precogs, baby. They're coming.
I even want to think one step ahead of that. And I don't want to be a part of this. So we're not trying to spread fear porn. We're not trying to scare anybody. We're wanting to empower people to, know your rights and think ahead. And like I said, when I'm seeing people walk around and I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to tell everybody their rights. But then I don't even know if that's really happening. And I don't know if they tried to scare you to get us to have this show to try to scare more people.
Could have been.
So you guys take it all with a grain of salt and know that God's in control and bigger than any of this.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we have to, that's what we have to rest with every day. And know,
and be a good person. Be a good person. Be a helpful member of society. Be a kind and loving neighbor to your friends and family. Help out when you can. Support those less fortunate than you. Do the right thing. Yeah. Be a good human being.
Absolutely.
Apparently, who knows what that stands for anymore? Who knows what that's worth anymore? When you could just get dragged through the mud.
No, I think it's worth a lot. And I think it's going to come back to you. And I think it has. You have beautiful, wonderful family. You've got friends that love you. And we've all got your back. And you have a great future. And, the best is yet to come. And I still believe that. I do still believe that.
100%. So, I believe that 100% too. Absolutely.
Love one another. And we'll see you guys next time on the new normal. We're not going to give up.
No, and we're not. I know. Love you guys. Check us out at 7:00 on Rice TVX with Pimpy and Rice tonight. We're going to be talking about this a little more in detail because they were two of the people who I was also questioned about. So 7:00 tonight, Rice TVX and
Eastern.
7:00 Eastern, Rice TVX, and Rice and Pimpy and me, and we're going to discuss this some more. But thank you, Lisa. Thank you out. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Love you all. Thank you for your support. Awesome.
Take care.